I'm humbled by your turn up, and I just want to give glory to God that you call people on a very short notice and they respond. I cannot take that for granted. It's like I had a dream that I should meet journalists, and then I just called one person and said, is it possible for me to see them? I just want to thank God that he said it is possible, and I have seen it is possible. Though in my mind, I had known that journalists were very few in Mbale, because I see few, okay? But I am so happy to see that you're more, and I'm sure many more will be coming. But I don't have much that I called you for. The first thing is, I just want to thank God for you, that you are dedicated to be doing a great work for this nation. I don't take it for granted. This world would be so boring without you people. Because every time somebody's tuning on a radio, somebody's tuning on a TV, somebody's reading a paper, or otherwise, people are on phone throughout because of the importance of media. However, I know mwebuuza ebibuuzo yatuyitidde ki? Abalala beebuuza abadde aliwa? Si bwe kiri? Ekyokubuuza media yo terina nnyo kumbuuza nnyo wayi bwe mbadde. Naye it's your right, but it's true I've not been around in a while. Seera kayiseewo ng'abantu bambuuza ebibuuzo nga baŋŋamba maama obadde oli lidda wa? Media mbadde sigibuulirangako, ate si y'ensonga ebampisizza. Naye it's good for you to get information. After my election, nebaza Katonda nti abakozesa banti mwatereka sitinga whatever was going on. After the last election, I was sued in court for malpractice and many other things, and that court case took some time. And when you are in court, I think it is the hardest time that I have ever had in my life. It's very expensive. It's a very expensive venture. You go to a lawyer, the first lawyer will tell you, I want 100 million, and yet you cannot use one lawyer. And you don't have resources at that particular time because you are just from an election. So it was quite hard. And simanyi oba nkozesa Luzungu bankole mixture. Luzungu? Okay. I tried my level best to see that I find ways of looking for monies to make sure that I settle my case in court. I was taken to different levels. We first had an application, and thank God we won it. Then they brought the main suit. I won it. Then again, they took me to the Court of Appeal. I also won it by the grace of God. But it took a lapse of about 2 years. And that time was not quite easy. And I could not appear in the public because of the stress that I was going through, especially financially, to fund the court case. After that, I lost my dad. And my father was very instrumental in my political career. He was my campaign manager around Kiteso and Lagosel. It was such a big blow, but with the time, I caught up, and in the process, my late husband was also sick. We were in and out of hospital for a very long while. We were in Nairobi, we were in Mulago, we were in Platinum. Every other time they say we go this way, we go that way. And during that time, it was quite hectic and very stressful that I had to take care of my late husband. It took a while, but after some time, he went back to be with the Lord. It has not been easy. It has been very tough, very tough. But all in all, God has been on my side. He has been very merciful. And there were a number of issues here and there, which I will not mention. But still, though others are still pending, I know I'll go over it as time goes on. Now, with such circumstances, I couldn't be expected to be in the masses, within the masses, as others were moving. And the shock that I got is while I was going through that tough time, people were here telling people that, she cannot come. Why? People knew my husband was very instrumental in my political career. Yes, that is true, but God uses people. And when the time is up, God can still remain there to support people. Otherwise, women who give birth to children and eventually pass on, those kids also grow up. So I put myself in such a situation. I said, yes, he has been very instrumental. It's very painful. Indeed, I've never had pain like when I lost my husband. I am only recollecting myself to catch up with the world, but it has been such a big blow. However, life has to continue. I am a mother with a number of adults. Many of them are still looking for jobs. With the grace of God, others are trying to get jobs, and others are still in school. And I do it single-handedly as a mother. I do it single-handedly as a mother. I think when I say that, you will understand it. Blessed me to be a member of parliament. That's how I'm able to sustain the number of children that I'm sustaining. And given those circumstances, I've been praying to God to give me that strength to see that I'm able to get back to public. And I thank God. I've had a few public appearances, and people have been asking, hey, are you back? I told them that I'd not gone anywhere. I've just been going through situations, but I am still around. However, I feel that what the challenges that I've gone through have energized me. They have sharpened me, that I feel that I can face any challenge that comes ahead of me, especially politically. People will ask, why haven't I come in the NRM primaries? You are all aware that I had a lot of challenges in the past election in NRM primaries, and right now I do not trust the system. And I'm speaking it with a lot of authority. I do not trust the NRM system of election in Mbale City. I don't know about other places, but within Mbale City, where it was evident that I won in 90% of the polling stations, I could not be declared. It took almost up to a month for me to hear the results. And the results were not declared in Mbale City. I think they are the only results in the country that were declared outside the area of election. I only had the results on TV, 10 o'clock in the night. I saw them being released, and it was in the favor of the other candidate whom I had stood with. I had gone to appeal at the NRM Secretariat. That's where I found my opponent camping there. She pitch camped there, requesting that they should declare her. And indeed, after some time she was declared. Because she has a name up there in the government, I couldn't do otherwise. But I opted to come as an independent because my electorate requested me to do so, and I was very confident I had won. And I want to thank God for my electorate, who still put trust in me and elected me. And this is the term that I am running. So it is very difficult for me to get back into the NRM primaries where I was tortured, I was battered. It was telecast all over the country when I was being beaten, and being beaten by men, not by women, policemen. It was telecast all over the country. Tear gassed. Just because of NRM primaries, I was demanding for my results. And given that experience, there is no way I can get back to that same mess, yet with the same opponent, among others. And therefore, I have a reason. Even then, I reported it in the NRM caucus, and I was very open. I told them I'm not getting back to primaries because I was brutally handled by my party. And I have a reason not to get back to primaries, not as a rebel, but as a peaceful Ugandan. And therefore, I opted to come as an independent. And that's the reason I've been quiet all along. When you put challenges with what I went through, I couldn't now speak much. I was only waiting for an opportune time for me to come back and tell the nation, to tell my people in Mbale that I am still around. Yes, the person who supported me most is not with us, but God is still with us. I am coming as independent. Now, this was information for you as journalists, because many of you could have not maybe had the side of mine, and I can summarize it that way. Now, the reason that I called you, I want to thank God that you are all here, even when others are coming. There is not much that I called you for. I just called you. I want to show you love, that I love you. Thank you. I just called you to tell you I love you and I want to show you love. Because many times you are forgotten by us. I want to appreciate you for the great work that you do. I don't know many of you. We are going to have introductions. I don't know many of you, but I have those I've been working with, but there are also those who have come on board as journalists in the city, because we also have had different media centers open up. But I don't have any special reason. I just wanted to say I love you so much, and I want to express my love to you today.
I've not been approached by any person. Those that are requesting for support. And of course, we know they are those that the campaigns are already on. And I don't want to say I am going to support anyone because no one has said it in Pakaru. I am your ardent supporter. Because for many years, from the time I started voting, I have voted now 3 times. And all the 3 times I have given you my vote. Naye. No, the twins are what twin Julius, but I'm saying for the 3 times I have voted, for the woman member of parliament, for the then Mbale district and now Mbale City, I have voted the Honorable Connie. Whoever is seeking for evidence, it's upon you. The evidence is between me and my God. But what I'm saying, Honorable, is that can we have plans from you as our Honorable Member of Parliament? Now I'm speaking to our MP, not a candidate. Our Honorable Member of Parliament from Mbale City. Would you please have in your work plan, in your many things that you do, have something that you say, kino kyaba namawuliri ab'Embale, in this nature, something tangible, because Honorable, want to grow as you grow. As you grow, we want to grow. Tomorrow you leave You live in Mbale City because we know when you have people that government in Mbale, bannamawulire nabaleka wano. The young men and women you see here are not doing well financially. Where they work from, people use them. Just like the word I used earlier, the toilet paper. Where the people, where they work from, the media houses where we work, people use us because we are just there to be used. Honorable, put something, whether it needs your voice, but this time we don't want it to be legislative in nature. Want you, Honorable Connie Galiwango, do something for the media people in Mbale City that is tangible. Tugamenti mbaguliddewo wali akeedi yammwe bannamawulire, tugamenti nkoze kino kyammwe. Those are the things that we require as people of Mbale.
Omuntu omulala at your level asobola okuyita naga ngenda kuwa ekirabo but with no string attached, ayinza okubula omulala. Thank you so much. Ensonga endala, in Uganda tulina amateeka agafuga ensonga za bannamawulire. Nze nganze mbadde nsaba nti singa Mukama akukwatirako noddayo mu parliament, mbadde nsaba olowooze ku ky'okuleeta amendment mu tteeka erifuga bannamawulire oba erirungamya ku nkola y'emirimu gyabwe. Wati mubeeremu ku clauses ezoogera ku bino wammanga. Ekisooka, singa munnamawulire anaakubwanga nga oba anaafunanga obuzibu, message yooli message nga ngamba nti wati mubeeremu ku amendments, mubeeremuko ku some clauses. For example, nti singa munnamawulire yenna oba ali Mbale oba aliwa bw'aba nga afunye obuzibu nga ofiisi yonna eya gavumenti oba security oba wawonna nga bakirinamu omukono, ateekwa kujjanjabibwa ne gavumenti. Ekyo kimu. Ekyokubiri, bannamawulire be bantu abasinga okubeerawo okuba emizira naye nga tebafuna kitono nnyo. Mbadde nsaba waakiri mubeeremuko ka clause, kubanga bannamawulire batwalibwa nti ye fourth organ of the government of the state. Kati bwe kiba bwe kityo, ffe tetujja kusaba kinene, naye kisoboka like okubeerawo n'enteekateeka ey'okukwatirako bannamawulire, because these are people singa babeera nga tebayimiridde bulungi mu nsonga z'ebyenfuna, they can easily be compromised. Naye ate munnamawulire alina osigala ng'akola omulimu gwe nga tasobodde ku compromisingibwa.
My name is Gerald. I'm happy to meet you again after a very long time. Actually, if my memory serves me right, we last met at the telecenter at the Mbale City Council. And I'm happy to meet you again. I came in a bit late. I will be corrected if I have not understood very well the objective and the agenda of the meeting. But to start with, I want to, basing on how I have understood this meeting, I want to categorically disagree with Ayubu's statement. I agree, though, that as journalists we are not doing well, but I don't think that this is the right fora for us to burden our friend. We can be misunderstood because this is a campaign period, friends. And normally where I am as a journalist, I want the integrity of a journalist to remain high. Even when you are not well, there must be the right place to say such a thing. Because where we are journalists, but from here, the information will be all over. And I don't want to come out that in a forum where we have been, including myself, we have been pleading to Honorable to help us. I want to be categorical on that. She's a candidate and we don't have to burden her with our problems. Secondly, or thirdly, I want to appreciate because we work with many people, but for someone to appreciate and know that these are people of value, we don't take it for granted. Of course, we will continue doing our work like we have been doing, and we appreciate that you have also said you have looked at us as friends, not with strings attached. Lastly, before I sit, one of the issues is I would like to seek clarity in good faith, and I beg not to be understood, because while we are here, Honorable has now told us that she's officially in the race. And as journalists, of course, as we report, that will be part of our reports. However, I just seek a bit of, I remember you have been one of the strong candidates in Mbale City, very loved. And personally, I like the fact that you stand on principle and values. I've watched you over time. I've seen how you have done that in church and stood on your ground, on principle, on the right thing. I remember last time your campaign stood firmly on the fact that you dissociated with the status quo of the MPs who actually supported the amendment of the age amendment bill, which became an act. And your candidature was firmly premised on that. I saw you actually disagree with President Museveni, or saying that he had told you openly that he was not coming back and that there's no way you will go and tell people. I would like to now, as we move out to report, I remember I was somewhere and I had someone speaking that while on cricket ground on a certain function, that the Prime Minister was around, you announced and appreciated the people of Mbale that actually you'll not be contesting again, and that was your last term. Of course, that is not to mean that you cannot change your mind, because people change their minds. We have had President Museveni change his mind, and anyone can change their mind based on their premises. So mine, I will specifically like you to give us a bit of insights on that, because that is the information that's outside there, and we need to know how to deal with it based on facts, not on speculations.
I'd like to assure you that voters in Mbale City had been convinced that you are not coming back. I can tell you that authoritatively. Including even members of your inner circle. There's a driver you use in Kiteso, that brown short man, you know him? I don't know his name. Even one time told me that I think Mama City is not coming back. So I would like to beg members here that the first thing we need to do is to escalate the message that Mama Mbale City is back to defend her seat. Thank you very much.
Gerard has put clarity on what you are requesting for. That can be at a different fora. However, I think what I can request is, it's not bad for you to ask for help from members of parliament or any candidate. That is, if you have an organization, you have an activity, either you have some project and you want us to support the project, that's very much in order. But as for me to begin creating something, it's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult. I don't want to just sweet talk you and say I'm going to do this and the other. I normally I love speaking the truth, and I can only do what I can. So if there is an identified project, you can call all of us to support you. I and the other candidates and maybe MPs. Yes, for Abdrakim, he said that maybe an amendment. That's a future plan, which is really very much welcome. It's very unfortunate to hear that you people, even when you get problems wherever you are on job, you don't have special care that you receive. I pray that really that changes. I maybe need a reminder, God willing, when we are there. Because right now the legislation is in bits. What will be very important in this season is only going to be budget. But the rest of the other things may not be so much come on the floor of Parliament. But if it comes, if we are given chance, I can still bring it up. So I pray that you don't get compromised because of the life that you are undergoing and the other stress factors. I want to show to them that God even supports the vulnerable more than anybody else. Amen. I made such a statement, and if it was there, it would have really been there during that time. But because people knew that I've been very weak, I've been mourning, I've been crushed because of the expenses in the court, they know now I cannot stand. But I have had people who have supported me, even just by seeing my picture alone, they support us and oh no, but they've never seen me. They've never even drank a bottle of water, but they've always supported me. And the God who used them during that time is still alive. And I know that misconception of my problems into people's joy has to be condemned in the strongest terms possible. And I want to condemn everybody who has taken advantage. People have been calling me, and I am the manifesto of all the candidates. I am their manifesto. Whoever gets on the pulpit, now Connie, now Connie, now Connie. I mean, I have a lot to do for Mbale. And I've done a lot for Mbale. If journalists wants to know what I have done, we can have a press conference. Because today, I came to show you love. But I have a lot of achievements. I have tangible things. I have a university, I have schools, which I have lobbied for single-handedly, and I have come to Mbale. So this business of wanting to know what I've done, let's have a press conference. And we'll have a thorough review of what I have done. But today, my main aim was to just show you that I love you, we share a meal, and you get a gift.